Police find a man with a gunshot wound at a Lexington hotel.
And we looked and screamed and hollered to make sure nobody was in there.
Neighbors tell us what they saw after they found a car engulfed in flames. And Coach Mark Stoops talking to reporters after a demoralizing loss for his football Wildcats.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Lexington police investigating after they say someone was shot at a gas station. It happened at the Marathon on Trent Boulevard in Lexington. Monique Blair is live now at the gas station with more on the breaking news. Monique?
Sam, yeah, I'm standing in front of that Marathon gas station right now on Trent Boulevard. I want to show you what's going on behind me because it is a very active scene out here right now. Lexington police have not been over here to talk to us quite yet because they are busy trying to figure out exactly what happened out here. But if you look closely, you can see several gas pumps are blocked off by crime scene tape. And while the gas pumps are blocked off, the store does appear to be open, as I have seen many people come and go since we have been out here. Now again, we don't know exactly what is going on out here at this gas station, but if you look down the street this way, closer to Trent Boulevard and Dale Drive, there are also about 6 to 7 police cars over there in front of a home that appears to be decorated for a party. And we did see some police officers talking to some people outside that home. Now, as you can imagine, people out here are very concerned as to what has happened in their neighborhood, and I have had several people stop and ask me what happened. Again, we are just waiting for police to come over here and kind of fill us in on the details, and as soon as we have that information, of course, I will bring it to you as soon as we have those details. For now, I'm reporting live in Lexington. Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thanks. And now to our top story. Police are investigating after a man was found with a gunshot wound at a Lexington motel this Labor Day. It happened at the Microtel on Buena Vista Road this morning. Sean Moody's at the motel where some guests were a little alarmed. He has our top story now at 5.
Police believe that man was inside a car driving here along Buena Vista Way when he was shot. They found him here in the parking lot of this Microtel. Police got the call around 9:15 Monday morning for an assault with a weapon at the hotel. When they got here, they said they found a 24-year-old man with a gunshot wound in his right shoulder. When police started putting things together, they said they learned the man had actually been in a car with someone else he knew traveling along Buena Vista Road when that person shot him. He ended up here in the parking lot. Emergency crews rushed him to UK hospital. We don't know his name or condition. Police said his injuries were serious, but not life-threatening. Detectives were at the hotel for a while afterward gathering evidence. People who were staying there said they were a little rattled.
My wife went out to the car to put some of the bags in, and she saw police cars and asked at the desk what had gone on, and they said somebody was shot.
Police were still searching for the car they believe that man was in. They said it was a black Toyota Camry, last seen heading toward the interstate. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And police did not have a description of the suspected shooter. We continue to follow a death investigation we first told you about here last night. Police found a body in a burned out car last night at the intersection of Red Road and Elkchester Road off of Old Frankfort Pike. Miranda Combs talked to neighbors who were there and saw the frightening fire. Miranda?
It frightened one neighbor we talked to who's lived on this road for 30 years after she found out a dead body was found inside a burning car not far from her home.
There were several neighbors in this quiet part of rural Fayette County close to the Woodford County line that saw the car fire. Now the remains of a burned out car mark this gravel entrance. Jesse Bentley was hunting with his brother when they heard a loud noise and saw smoke. They found the car engulfed in flames at the corner of Red Road and Elkchester. Bentley says he and his brother first tried to make sure no one was inside the car.
We approached the vehicle, and it was really hot then, and we looked and screamed and hollered to make sure nobody was in there, but nobody did answer, so that's why we didn't know the body was in there.
Not much new information from police today other than this is still an active investigation. The coroner's office is trying to identify the victim and also the cause of death. In Fayette County, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Police are asking anyone with information to contact them. The Labor Day got off to a rough start for one Kentucky family. Our county-by-county coverage at 5 begins in Lincoln County. Firefighters were called to a home off of Spring Valley Road in Stamford about 7 this morning after a passerby called 911. No one was at the home at the time of the fire, but the home is a complete loss. Firefighters think the fire started in the attic about 2 a.m. The homeowner, Lena King, tells WKYT she plans to stay with friends and family for now. In Knox County, a deputy has been cleared of wrongdoing after a deadly shooting. On June 29th, Deputy Mikey Ashurst and a Knox County constable responded to a reported child abduction on Moore Creek Road. They found Jesse Mills walking in the middle of the road with a 2-year-old. The officers say Mills tried to attack them. Moments later, Ashurst shot and killed Mills. A grand jury decided to not indict Ashurst. A Madison County man is facing charges. Police in Berea say they found inappropriate pictures of minors on his cell phone. Berea police charged 56-year-old James Powell with possessing and viewing matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. They say Powell tried to delete the photos. They're also charging him with tampering with physical evidence. The homicide rate in Louisville is on the rise. Police have dealt with 80 so far this year, which matches their total for all of last year. 17 people were killed just last month. Investigators say most of the deaths are linked to rival gang activity. The highest number of homicides for the city back in 1971. Officers say they dealt with 110 homicides that year. After a few days of just gorgeous weather, Mother Nature reminding us that summer is not quite over with yet. Our meteorologist Jim Caldwell is in the First Alert Weather Center to tell us more. Hey, Jim.
And we have more heat coming our way, Sam. Unfortunately, after it took a little bit of a break here over the past few days, we're going to watch it rally back into the area here tomorrow, obviously today, because it's 90 degrees right now. But the good news with today's heat, humidity levels are a lot lower, but they'll come up too. Maybe toward your Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday, will start creeping back up on us. Area-wide, we've got mid and upper 80s and low 90s showing up across the Commonwealth. That is a change of about 4 degrees in Lexington. So yesterday around 86. Today we're now at 90. So overall the trend has been slightly warmer throughout most of the region. And again, low humidity, so it feels a whole lot better, especially yesterday compared to today. Even though it's just a few degrees, you keep that humidity down and it makes all the difference in the world. Here you see a Defender Radar Network, and it is quiet across Kentucky. No showers, thunderstorms. It's pretty calm. Any which way you look, you got some activity across parts of Indiana. That's really about it, though. Let's take you through the rest of the evening here, and as we make the progression past 6 o'clock and into the overnight hours, early tomorrow morning, when you see numbers like this still kind of holding steady, mid and upper 60s, around 70 degrees, you know, it's getting a little bit warmer out there, and that will also be the case into the daytime hours again. On Tuesday, we'll probably end up in the upper 80s, low 90s area wide, so more heat showing up around here. Some changes, though, toward the end of the week again. So we'll go up and down all over again. Same thing we just did this past weekend. We'll do it again, maybe a little more extreme. I'll break that down coming up.
Thank you, Jim. And given all that, today was a great day to be out on the lake with friends and family. Officials at Carr Creek Lake Marina in Knott County say they've been very busy this past weekend. We're told that they sold out all of their open docking slots. One boat owner tells us he brings his family to the lake every Labor Day. He says it's Eastern Kentucky's hidden gem, perfect for families to enjoy on holiday weekends.
Well, this is our family outing. We've been coming to Carr for 10, 15 years. Great place, great family fun, low key. It's quiet in the evenings except when my grandkids are here, and just a lot of, family things to do.
The marina will buy a new pontoon boat for families to rent next summer. The manager says although this weekend will be one of the last busy weekends of the season, they'll stay open until the end of the month. A lot of fun out there. Well, Kentucky football head coach Mark Stoops speaking to reporters today, 2 days after a huge loss to Southern Mississippi in their home opener. Brian, I was in the stands, and it was frustrating, disappointing. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, I was in the press box, and it was a deafening silence. We all saw what happened late Saturday night against Southern Miss, one of the most demoralizing losses UK has experienced in a long time. You could take your pick on the plays which hurt the Cats, whether it would be a dropped interception, fumbling the ball in the red zone, or several blown coverages, but Mark Stoops attributed this loss to something else.
And in the second half, it came down to third downs. They were getting aggravating yards. 2, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, too many. That we need to shore up. We cannot get milked in the run game, and then we have to convert third downs. They won the one-on-ones in the second half, put us in some situations where we had to win some one-on-ones on third and medium, and lost just about every one of those.
Yeah, Southern Miss had the ball. This is amazing. For more than 40 minutes. Kentucky just 3 of 9 on third down conversions, and they only had 14 second-half offensive plays. We'll have much more later in sports.
Thank you, Brian. And next up for the Cats, Florida this weekend in the Swamp. Kickoff at 3:30 right here on CBS and WKYT.
The presidential candidates hit the campaign trail this Labor Day, but can't shake ongoing controversies. I'm Mark Albert at the White House with the latest on the race.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
It is Labor Day, and the roads are going to start buzzing here soon, if they aren't already in many cases out there. And the temperatures are already buzzing out there, getting up to some higher levels. Let's look across Kentucky at some of these cams, and you can see, especially up toward Florence there, that's where you're going to find more traffic kind of buzzing along. Same thing out toward E-Town as well. So these other shots, pretty quiet throughout central and parts of eastern Kentucky at the moment. Now, let's take a little look here at our headlines as we move forward. We're talking, of course, about the short week for many of you. It's going to be a short work week, and it gets a little on the steamy side the next few days. We'll also be tracking a few more 90-degree days, unfortunately, and then storms are back in town later on this week, so we will have to deal with more chances of showers and storms. But the thing about this round is it will change everything up for us completely, kind of like those little light showers we had on Friday morning that were barely even noticeable. On Thursday, boom, everything changed for us. So we had that front and all that energy pushing through. Mid and upper 80s, low 90s throughout the entire area. It's 88 degrees in London, it's 90 in Lexington, 88 in Danville. You got 84 into Somerset. I mean, no real significant reason that anybody is cooler. There's no cloud cover that's just completely draped over the skies or any showers going up to give you rain-cooled air. It's just you're running into different pockets of just different cooling zones. And that's why we have that kind of mixture of temperatures, at least at the moment. A couple isolated little specks have been showing up closer to Louisville. Not much happening. They just can't completely blow up and go up out there right now. High pressure is sitting just off to the north this evening and will start dropping and dropping and dropping toward the south and southeast here tonight and into the day tomorrow. What that does is it'll open up more of a southerly wind. So Wednesday into Thursday, the humidity will start creeping up again and become a little more noticeable. You're just going to notice it's warmer out the next day or so. By the end of the week, you'll be like, there's that humidity. It is certainly back into the area, so we'll be pushing into some more oppressive levels. Right now, it's not that bad. Frontal boundary gathering strength out to our west. It will eventually sweep across Kentucky toward the end of the week and into the weekend. And this one is another big blast of fall air for us. Temperatures are going to fall from the mid and upper 80s down to the mid 70s, I think, this time. Mid 70s locked in. And then this is just one of several cool shots we have setting up around here. We're going to have another probably into next week. We'll get another spike and then another shot of cool air and then maybe some more loaded up down the road. So it's going to turn into a pretty active pattern here. Let's go to the 7-day forecast so you can see what's happening with it. And you've got the steamy conditions here tomorrow on Wednesday, and clouds begin to increase, and also those storm chances will increase toward the end of the week and into the weekend at least. All right, let's jump and check our live drive traffic situation out there as running into some issues along the interstate. Looks like an accident there along I-75 southbound, and then you've got another northbound near the exit 118. So a mess. People are getting out, going home, wherever they may have been this weekend. So
Interstate's very busy right now.
Yeah, I dread it later. Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Well, coming up, find out where you can catch one of Gene Wilder's most popular movies this week. A missing Boyle County teenager has been found by police in New Mexico, and the man she was with is in jail. We'll have the latest on that situation at 5:30.
Up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Fans of the late Gene Wilder can catch one of the actor's most popular movies this week. Movie Tavern in Brannon Crossing in Jessamine County will show the 1971 version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on Wednesday and Thursday. The theater will show the movie at 7:30 p.m. both days. Tickets are just $5. Gene Wilder died last week due to complications from Alzheimer's disease. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump laboring on the campaign trail today. The Democratic and Republican nominees, respectively, are focusing on the battleground state of Ohio. Mark Albert has the latest on the presidential campaign.
I am so happy to have all of you with me.
Hillary Clinton welcomed reporters aboard her campaign's new airplane as she headed to a Labor Day rally in Cleveland.
We're going to say yes to standing up for workers' rights and dignity, yes to good jobs and benefits, yes to the American dream.
Donald Trump was also in Cleveland, meeting voters at a diner and talking with labor leaders. He said he's the only candidate who can save American jobs from moving overseas.
We will get our jobs back, and we're going to stop companies from leaving, and it's so easy.
There are just 2 months left in this grueling campaign, and both candidates are trying to shake off controversies to win over voters. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker polls shows Clinton leading by 8 points in Pennsylvania and 4 points in North Carolina. But the survey of all 13 battleground states finds her lead just 2 points. That might be because more than 9 in 10 voters feel the same or worse about Clinton's explanations for her email server. And Trump is still drawing fire for his shifting plans on immigration.
Whoever wins in November is going to face a very challenging landscape, not only politically, but because they're going to come in very, very damaged, because if you see these numbers now, I don't think they're going to improve much between now and November.
The first presidential debate is just 3 weeks away. Mark Albert for CBS News, the White House.
And while the presidential candidates were on the campaign trail today, the president was in Southeast Asia. President Obama has become the first sitting U.S. president to visit the isolated, landlocked Southeast Asian nation of Laos. He arrived today in the capital city for a 3-day visit that's meant to close a dark chapter in the shared history between the two countries and rebuild some trust. President Obama planned to acknowledge damage caused by a U.S. bombing campaign during the Vietnam War. He's expected to announce new aid to help clean up tens of millions of unexploded bombs that dot the country's mountain villages and fields. Coming up here at 5:30, a man has fallen while hiking at a nature preserve in Letcher County. How officials are reminding people to stay on marked trails. And gas prices at their lowest levels in 12 years. Louisville-based Yum Brands also preparing to spin off their China division. Better Living is next. Now it's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Good news for anyone driving this Labor Day. Prices for gas are at the lowest levels since 2004. The national average for a gallon of regular, $2.21 today. That's 20 cents cheaper than this time last year. The summer of low gas prices has meant big savings for drivers, almost $19 billion compared to last year. The average U.S. household expected to pocket an extra $320 in savings this year thanks to plunging gas prices. The parent company of KFC and Pizza Hut says it will sell a stake in its China division ahead of a spinoff later this year. Yum Brands, based in Louisville, says the deal is valued at $460 million and should be finished by the end of October. The company that also owns Taco Bell says its China operations account for about half its revenue. Shares of Yum China will begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange in November. So have you ever wondered why wine experts can smell and taste ingredients the rest of us can't? Researchers in Las Vegas set out to see if they could answer that question. And as Chris Martinez tells us, what they found could lead to a breakthrough for Alzheimer's.
Harley Carberry has developed an almost superhuman sense of smell over the years.
Identifying the different aromatic or flavor nuances within it. You know, is it a fruit? Is it not a fruit?
As a wine connoisseur or sommelier, he says he can detect almost any ingredient in a glass of wine.
Dry roses, potpourri, very floral.
Now research shows that keen sense of smell has developed his brain.
There's just a lot more activity there.
Dr. Sarah Banks did brain scans on 13 sommeliers and 13 non-experts as they smelled various scents of wines and fruits. She found the wine experts could detect scents the others could not, but she also discovered parts of their brain are bigger, including areas susceptible to Alzheimer's.
The fact that the parts of the brain that are bigger are those parts that are most vulnerable to diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's bodes pretty well for the sommeliers. It suggests that they might have some degree of protection.
Dr. Banks says developing our sense of smell with wine or anything else might be key in growing our brains to help prevent disease.
Definitely sort of stopping to smell the roses a little bit, to enjoy life, to think about your sensory experiences.
Harley says he'll toast to that.
That's the best part, time to taste.
Chris Martinez, CBS News, Las Vegas.
And the participants in the study ranged from their 20s to mid-60s. Now, here's what's coming up at 5:30.